Vulcan-Martin, Tokuino, no İstanbul, Türkiye, Okul Tikuna. I hope I did it correctly. I'm sorry if I made any mistakes. Kia ora, thank you for coming to my presentation. I'm going to talk about my action research. I'm a fast speaker, so hopefully it will be really quick. Action research is something we do in the classroom, some English teachers. I'm in love with action research because it's actionable, it's practical, it's collaborative. And that's exactly what we want in the English classroom, that we create a project together. This is the thing I'm interested in for the last few years. It's called social emotional learning. A few skills: self-awareness, social awareness, relationship skills, responsible decision-making, and self-management. These are the skills. These are skills that we need as a person, that everyone needs. But these are also academic skills that we need. So I'll briefly talk about social emotional learning and how do I practice it in the classroom and my good feedback from my students. These are the, otherwise I wouldn't have come, I guess. These are the core competencies to recognize and manage emotions, set and achieve positive goals, appreciate the perspectives of others, establish and maintain positive relationships, make responsible decisions, and handle interpersonal situations constructively. This is an old definition. It's changed a lot over the years. I'm sorry, I'm blocking you. It's changed a lot over the years, actually, the definition. And I'm interested in some, it's K-12. So this is the part, that was the first time I was interested in it because it's usually done in high schools and primary schools. But I thought we need it too. We all need it. So when you look around, I hope working in Tevananga for you is like a rose garden. But we have these people around us who haven't necessarily developed those skills. You should look in the mirror first. I haven't developed them myself completely. So I think adults need work too. And I the first thing I thought was this can't be K-12. Older people, adults need it too. There's something called adult self, but this is my research. There's almost no research on it, very little on adult research. Language teaching, almost none. This image, ChatGPT, I asked it to create angry people image. It was all white in the beginning. So I talked about it theoretically about it being racist, but I saw the example. Then I said, add other races, and this is what he has done. So you can see that it's still not great. But I think it shows how I feel, why social emotional learning is necessary for us. I'm interested in, so you would hope that everyone has these skills, all of us. We don't, but still in the classroom I don't have that much time to go through all skills. Plus, it's something that I'm passionate about for years and years, which is emotional regulation. There are several reasons to it. So the work I do in the classroom is about emotional regulation and mindfulness that I do with students. My reason is, really, all of my research is coming from me. My PhD was about me. This is ripped from an artwork. I'm too sad to tell you. It's the name of the artwork. I've been anxious all my life. I just took a beta blocker. So that I'm less anxious. It doesn't help though. I call myself Project Vulcan, and I think before the project is completed, I'll be an angel most likely, but I'm doing my best to put work into Vulcan and to be a nice person. Because I think this is really my quote, a happy person is a happy teacher who is a happy colleague, and definitely have happy students. Let's not forget about the retention. Also, these students come back to Dynastic and Tevananga. I don't think of it as, you know, a big business decision. I think of it as, yeah, I'm happy. My students are happy. Of course, they're going to come back. So next semester, all of my students are coming back because they're happy in the classroom. It's a happy classroom. And I think I try the same. With colleagues, sometimes it's not always possible to do perfect, but I do my best to be a happy person. So the main reason I'm interested in this is, you know, K-12. Self-awareness, me trying to be a better person, and, okay, something strange is happening. How do I go to the next one? Like this?
Go now.
And the first time I actually did research, although I've been reading for years and years, in Turkey, I've been away for 10 years. I left a very different New Zealand. I know who don't brushes, so everything was very different. Although now we are taking a few back steps, I think this is just temporary. After spending 13 years here, I went back to Turkey for 9 years, and I missed my friends so much. Last year I decided to come back, and luckily I have this job in this wonderful institution. In Turkey, 2 years of my life was COVID, so we taught online. And then it was hybrid. Then we just came back to school, and this happened. 2 years ago, the earthquake. This is, I mean, a few cities were wiped out. Of course, Turkish government is made of liars. Probably 100,000 people died, but they say it's tens of thousands. So most cities were like this, and this was actually a really beautiful city that doesn't exist. When my students come, I had all these ideas. I started doing the research, and I started working with my students. I said, I have a project. Do you want to join me? Finally, in April, when we went back to the classroom, which is most of the year, the reason was everyone needed dorms, the families, so the schools closed once again for a few months. And once we finally got back to the classroom, I did this research. It was incredible. Students really liked it. In Dynaspeak, we can't open windows. So, and I'm learning as I do the research. So I had candles, we had incense, everyone was contributing. The last hour of every Friday was our mindfulness time and emotional learning time. And I'll show you what I do in the classroom. When I came back here, I continued to read about this topic. And actually I read that, in a recent article that I read, they went through the job ads, and they made a big research article. I think it's there, it's a report actually, that what the workers want. Of course, workers want exactly the same characteristics. The happy person, who is helpful, who has a positive attitude, who works in a team and individually. These are the skills that are needed. They basically are the same skills with social emotional learning skills. So I think that also, because now I teach an academic class, and a level 4 general, but all are full-time workers and they come at night, they said they were totally into it, trying to do some practice together. You can do freestanding lessons, just cell lessons. You can, in high schools, they usually integrate it with the curriculum, so they train the teachers how to integrate it. What I do is, in the last, and I have 2 classes, in the last hour of every week, for 2 classes, I will give out to you what I do. I do certain practices, and then we talk about it, and at the end of the research, I give them a survey. This is one of the things, so for me, everything turns into an ESL, English for Second Speaking, second language exercise, so everything turns into a listening exercise or a reading exercise. So this is one of the few things we have watched. I just wanted to show you how I do it. So they watch this. Of course, they do not see the transcript. They do it as a listening activity. We do it in our own way. They have to listen to it 3 times. They talk to each other. But at the same time, we talk about it. And then, at the end of the lesson, I give them a journal. And I prepared one for you. They usually have only 2 entries in the journal. And the truth is, one of the best things I got was one of the students just said, these journals made me think a lot. Every night I went home and I wrote more. There were maybe a couple of people less interested, but the majority, what you will see, sorry, maybe you could just give it out, is not the real thing, because normally I just wanted to show you, I only put 2 entries, and they write, and they write. And then we talk for a long time about what they have written. I don't take them, it's private, it's their own journal. So over the weeks, they had 6-7 pages of journals for themselves. I'll call her Dr. Johnny Angel. I don't think she's here. Because, in Dynaspeak, we do things in a way, it's an English class, but we try to put as much culture in it as possible. When Johnny was the chair of this session, I wrote to her and I learned about Maori mindfulness. I was not surprised, but I didn't know about it. This turned into a reading exercise. This is a thesis from the Kindness Institute, and so McAllister wrote a thesis. I kept the title because this is an article that I like, but it wasn't really, it's not really related to this. I kept it because I like this article a lot. So our students are always keen to learn more. That's why especially the academic class love this thesis. Other things I have done are nonviolent communication, more emotional self-check-ins than the second or third one because we didn't have enough time. So the journals and what we watched and have seen were around these topics. I put 2 highlights. This is my first childhood memory as a 4-year-old boy. We are going to a summer holiday, winter holiday, not skiing but just to the mountains. And we had this car. ChatGPT's better picture, I guess. But this led to such a lesson. We just talked about this. Finished? Or? No. Okay, but I'll finish earlier. This ended up being a speaking lesson. It looked like everyone really wants to talk about their childhood too much. Once we spoke about their first memory, It never ended. For almost 2 hours, we talked about this actually. And they didn't see this picture. I made this picture for you. And this is probably the most, probably the most popular lesson, mind wandering. One thing, it turned into a listening exercise. One thing I noticed is, so it says, and this is a really beautiful video by the way, you should watch it, and I stole 2 pictures from it. It says, a minority of people, less than 10%, mind wander 100% of the time. Another minority never mind wanders, but most of us mind wander a lot. And I think I'm one of the people who mind wanders quite a bit actually, not 100%, thankfully. I would lose my mind totally if I was. But I mean, I don't know if you see it, I got this from there. Especially grooming, if you're cutting yourself, we are all mind wandering when we are grooming. It goes down to having sex. 10% of the time, mind wanders. So, we are mind wandering, and around 40% of the time, all of us are mind wandering, a majority of us. We are thinking about other things. This made me think, first, of course, I don't want my lessons to mind wander in the lesson. As you see, I'm loud, I speak fast, there's not much time to actually mind wander. But I realized I'm also very happy in the lesson because I'm really a mind wanderer. All the time I'm not here. When I walk, I don't know how I walk. I think about 5 other things at the same time. Example. This is really not me, I just edited it for you. I'm going bald is a current thought in my mind. This one, I couldn't sleep last night. I woke up at 3:15. I don't feel anxious about the past. I just edited it for you because a lot of people are also stuck up in the past and they just fight. My fight is always with the future and with going bald and gray. Okay, so I realized in the classes I'm so happy because my classes are quite active. It's a lot of group work. My mind never wanders during the classroom. And that's why I thought maybe that's one of my, I always say I don't have a miserable life. I have a great life, but in the classroom I'm super happy. Because I think I never mind wandering the classroom. This is my questionnaire to my students. Survey tried to charge me $460 or something, so I put this into ChatGPT. I made some mistakes, but just to sake of making it funny, I'll just say, literally one student disagreed with almost everything. And I thought, this is what I'm talking about. I know it's a she because it's from the academic class and there are 13 women. She hated every activity and she didn't say a word. So I wish she had got the point, but she didn't get it. So one single student out of 26 disagreed with everything. I think she was really happy when she said, disagree, disagree, disagree. But these are all strongly agrees and slightly agrees. As you see, I think it's clear that there is no reason for most students, obviously someone doesn't enjoy what I'm doing, there is no reason for most students not to enjoy this, because we still practice English, but we also take ourselves away from it. My last question to my students, you can do it, we can look at it later if you want to. The last journal entry was, now I'm completely forgotten it, it's here. You have to go and look it up. It's just this. And they wrote a lot actually for the last one. What's next? Something like this, I think, what you'll see if you do it. What are you waiting for? This was the very last entry and they knew I was going to come here the following week. So on Wednesday I had to wrap it up and do the survey. What are you waiting for? It got so many hits actually. They wrote a lot. What are you waiting for? So, same question to you. If you want to see happy people around you, happy students, happy colleagues, I think there's something about social emotional learning and mindfulness for all of us. If you're naughty, there's a great perspective on it, because actually the culture is actually so much about this actually, being mindful. Thank you for listening.